Today's to the point topic is how to create a gingerbread man vector from scratch. I recently done a video where I created a free Christmas art library, and I will put a link in the description so you can check that out if you like. This is the library over here on the bottom right, and I noticed the one I made did not have a gingerbread man or woman. So we're going to correct that today. So we are going to start by drawing out the head first. Just grab a circle, hold shift, and just drag out a head. We're not measuring, so whatever looks right to you, do that. Then grab a square, drag out a rectangle. We're going to make some arms and some legs. Click your selector tool. Go over to the Shape Properties tab to round off. We're going to radius off the corners to about 10 to make it look kind of like a popsicle stick. If you don't have that tab, go up to Window and down to Shape Properties and be sure it's selected, and the tab could be anywhere on the page. Okay, now we want these arms and legs to be kind of stubby, and then we will plump up our gingerbread. So somewhere in there, leave a little space between the head and the arm. Then you can Control D to duplicate, Control Shift H to do a horizontal flip, and then you can just move another one over. And then with that selected, Shift select the first one, then Control D, Control Shift V for a vertical flip, and now we have legs. And somewhere in there should work. If you do that, like if you get one thing set and then you do that duplicate and flip, you can save yourself a lot of time. Okay, so now we're going to grab another square. We're going to pull it in. We want to touch the head, legs, and arms. And click your selector tool. You can drag this on out a little bit. You want your gingerbread to be plump, delicious looking. Okay, somewhere like that. You can select, hold the Alt key, select your object, and then it'll help you line it up center, left, right, wherever you want to. So we want to select our square, go up top to Tools, down to Deform Selection 16 points. Let's pull this one over to that one. This one over to here. And we'll pull these bottom two up to about right there. Then click your selector tool. Select everything together. You can weld here in the modifier tools or up in the tool selection here. Weld it all together. So we have our gingerbread man. So now we need some eyes and a mouth. So let's grab a circle, hold shift and just draw out an eye. Click your selector tool, Control D to duplicate. Move it out. Don't move it too far. You don't want him to look weird. And you can group these together and hold down the Alt key, grab your selection, and it'll give you some alignment guides. Okay, let's get him some buttons, and then we'll get a mouth and a bow tie. Draw out a circle, click the selector tool, go over to the offset tool. We'll just do outward round and maybe 2 millimeters. Click OK. Select it, group it together. Probably make it a little smaller. And then we want 3 of these, so Control D. And you could use the array tool, but when it's just a few, it's really not worth the trouble. Grab them all and group them together. And again, you can hold the Alt key. and grab it and get it centered. To make a bow tie, well, let's make his mouth. We'll grab a circle. And if I hadn't said it already, you can scroll in and out with your mouse. You can push down and move the entire canvas around. But I like to make it a little larger than I need it, so it's just easier to work with. Click your selector tool and then go up to Tools, Deform 16 points, and then just stretch this down to make it look like a mouth. Something like that. Click the selector tool, make it smaller, and you can make yours look much better than this, I'm sure. Maybe I will get better at it at some point. Hold the Alt key and you can line that right up, and that looks okay. Let's get him a bow tie. Grab a square, drag out a rectangle, click the selector tool, go to Tools, Deform 16 points, and then just pull these down a little bit. Pull the bottom ones up a little bit. And now we have a bow tie. Click the selector tool. We could even borrow one of these buttons. Let's ungroup them, grab one. Control D to duplicate. Right arrow to get it out. And we can stick it on there. Hold the Alt key and drop it right there in the center. Grab that and group it together. Make it quite a bit smaller. Hold the Alt key, get it centered, and there you go. We're going to duplicate this entire piece like so. And then we're going to change it up. Okay, we're just going to group all of this together. Group. And then we will do an offset. Y'all stick with me, folks. We get there. Just doing 1 millimeter. We're keeping the center. We're not deleting it out. I usually don't delete it out, and then I'll delete it after the fact. But a viewer, Luke, reminded me that this option is here. So if you don't need your original, you can select Delete Original, and it'll delete it as soon as you click OK. So thank you, Luke. Okay, so we want to, while that original was selected, I should have converted it there to an engraving. Now for this one, we're going to make some changes. We're going to grab this bow tie, move it up top, slant it a little bit, and now we have Mrs. Gingerbread. There we go. Okay, we'll group all of this together. And then grab it, do our offset, 1 millimeter, keep the original, click OK, and then we can set for a engrave. And now it'll engrave and then cut it out. And that should work. Now, I guess we should add some icing to the arms and legs. So let's grab a square, just draw out a rectangle, make it large again so it's easier to work with, and go up to Tools, Deform 16 points, and we'll just pull these down, all 4 of these in the center left. And then on the right, we can pull these up a little bit. And if you want it more wavy, you can play around with it and make it however you like. Click the selector tool, Control D to duplicate, arrow 1 down. Now we've got 2. We'll grab both of these, group them together, just resize them a little bit. We'll start here on this leg. Make that a little bit larger. Just position that wherever it looks good to you. Then Control D to duplicate. Control Shift H to move it over. Then you can Shift and select the other one. And then Control D to duplicate. Control Shift V for a vertical flip. Pull them up to the arms. Maybe play around with them a little bit to make them look a little better. There we go. Then Shift and select each one of them to get them all together. You can group them if you like, and then Control D. And then just arrow over to this other one. There we go. I think we're okay. That one's off a hair, but it's okay. We'll group all of this together. Group all of this together. And now, for my Christmas art library, like I said, I'll put a link down in the description so you can go make it. But again, it is missing the gingerbread man and woman, and we can just add those to it. Just select them, click Import Graphic from Project, give them a name, click OK, and now they are here, and you can pull them out anytime you like, and you won't have to make these again.